जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदा जमुना तीर बनचारी जमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavana Dham, Jaya Jaya Lalita Vishakha Jaya Radhe Shyam, Lalita Vishakha Jaya Radhe Shyam, Jaya 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jaya 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 Gurudev, 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 Gurudev नित्यलीला प्रविष्ट जयं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ षडगोस्वामी प्रभुगण की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री भासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय श्री अयोध्या धाम की जय श्री द्वारका धाम की जय श्री बद्रिका धाम की जय श्री कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदायिनी श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय जय श्री गंगा मैया जमुना मैया की जय जय श्री प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय जय श्री जुगधर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्री हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय उपस्थित समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय ऑल गोइज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्ण ऑल गोइज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्ण ऑल गोइज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्ण ऑल गोइज टू गुरु एंड गौरांग श्रील प्रभुपाद की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and the verse number is 36. Kindly you repeat after I recite this sloka. Pāpam evāśrayed asmān hatvaitān ātatāyinaḥ tasmān nārhā vayaṁ hantuṁ dhṛtarāṣṭrān sa-bāndhavān sva-janam hi katham hatvā sukhinaḥ syāma mādhava pāpam evāśrayed asmān hatvaitān ātatāyinaḥ tasmān nārhā vayaṁ hantum dhārtarāṣṭrān sa-bāndhavān sva-janam hi katham hatvā sukhinaḥ syāma mādhava pāpam evāśrayed asmān hatvaitān ātatāyinaḥ tasmān nārhā vayaṁ hantum dhārtarāṣṭrān sa-bāndhavān sva-janam hi katham hatvā sukhinaḥ syāma mādhava. Pāpam evāśrayed asmān hatvaitān ātatāyinaḥ tasmān nārhā vayaṁ hantum dhṛtarāṣṭrān sa-bāndhavān sva-janam hi katham hatvā sukhinaḥ syāma mādhava pāpam evāśrayed asmān hatvaitān ātatāyinaḥ tasmāt nārhā vayaṁ hantum dhārtarāṣṭrān sa-bāndhavān sva-janam hi katham hatvā sukhinaḥ syāma mādhava. Mataji, anybody is there? Pāpam evāśrayed asmān hatvaitān ātatāyinaḥ tasmāt nārhā vayaṁ hantum dhārtarāṣṭrān sa-bāndhavān sva-janam hi katham hatvā sukhinaḥ syāma mādhava. So what word meaning? Pāpam, vices. Eva, certainly. Āśrayet, must come upon. Asmān, us. Hatvā, by killing. Etān, all these. Ātatāyinaḥ, aggressors. Tasmāt, therefore. Na, never. arhāḥ, deserving. Vayam, we. Hantum, to kill. Dhṛtarāṣṭrān, the sons of Dhṛtarāṣṭra. Sa-bāndhavān, along with friends. Sa-janam, kinsmen. He, certainly. Katham, how. Hatvā, by killing. Sukhinaḥ, happy. Syāma, will we become. Mādhava, O Krishna, husband of goddess of fortune. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhṛtarāṣṭra or our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? Purport. According to Vedic injunctions, there are 6 kinds of aggressors. First, a poison giver. Second, one who sets fire to the house. Third, one who attacks with deadly weapons. Fourth, one who plunders riches. 5, one who occupies others' land. And 6th, one who kidnaps a wife. Such aggressors are at once to be killed, and no sin is incurred by killing such aggressors. Such killing of aggressors is quite befitting any ordinary man. But Arjuna was not an ordinary person. He was saintly by character, and therefore he wanted to deal with them in saintliness. This kind of saintliness, however, is not for a Kshatriya. Although a responsible man in the administration of a state is required to be saintly, he should not be cowardly. For example, Lord Rama was so saintly that people even now are anxious to live in the kingdom of Lord Rama, Ramarajya. But Lord Rama never showed any cowardice. Ravana was an aggressor against Rama because Ravana kidnapped Rama's wife Sita. But Lord Rama gave him sufficient lessons unparalleled in the history of the world. In Arjuna's case, however, one should consider the special type of aggressors, namely his own grandfather, own teacher, friends, sons, grandsons, etc. Because of them, Arjuna thought that he should not take the severe steps necessary against ordinary aggressors. Besides that, saintly persons are advised to forgive. Such injunctions are for saintly persons are more important than any political emergency. Arjuna considered that rather than kill his own kinsmen for political reasons, it would be better to forgive them on grounds of religion and saintly behavior. He did not therefore consider such killing profitable simply for the matter of temporary bodily happiness. After all, kingdoms and pleasures derived therefrom are not permanent. So why should he risk his life and eternal salvation by killing his own kinsmen? Arjuna addressing of Krishna as Mādhava, or the husband of goddess of fortune, is also significant in this connection. He wanted to point out to Krishna that as the husband of goddess of fortune, he should not induce Arjuna to take up a matter which would ultimately bring about misfortune. Krishna, however, never brings misfortune to anyone. To say nothing of his devotees. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhu Vyavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतसी नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So, first of all, I am just grateful to all of you for being present here, and please give your mercy and blessings because I am not very expert in giving this kind of discourses, but somehow we are the future generation of ISKCON society. We need to be trained as Prabhupada has done this arrangement. So wonderful Vaishnavas, Prabhuji is there, and so many exalted Vaishnavis are also there. So please bless me so that I can speak something, whatever I have understood, whatever I heard and assimilated through the previous acharyas and all the superiors. So any shortcomings are there, please forgive me or correct me. So to start with, you have heard a very wonderful class by Maharaj, who is our recently sannyasi, Radha Swami Maharaj. So after that, this English session, we have been hearing for last couple of days regarding the first chapter. It has two sections. The first one you have heard is, this is the observation of the army by Arjuna. And the second section, we are into the second section where we are discussing Arjuna's lamentation. That means Arjuna refused to fight with Krishna, right? So various reasons you have been hearing for last couple of days. The first reason being, I hope you remember, it is compassion. He was very compassionate, Arjuna, for his relatives, for his friends. So, but his compassion is based on the bodily conception, which Krishna is going to refute in the next chapter. And the second reason is Arjuna was very logically arguing, if everybody dies in the world, then with whom I will enjoy this worldly kingdom. So he was very expertly, because till that time he was behaving as a friend of Krishna, Arjuna. So that's why. And then you have been heard that actually in 11th chapter it is going to come up that Krishna has already killed all these Kauravas. So there Krishna showed his Virat Rupa, Viswarupa, where all the Kauravas, they are entering the mouth of Krishna and one side, and they are stuck in the teeth, their heads are crushed. So all these things Krishna is going to show to Arjuna. That's why he is telling, very importantly, nimitta matram bhava sabhyasachin. So just be an instrument in my, so everything I have been arranged by me, so all the credits will go to you. So that's why Krishna is doing all this, he is the script writer. And so the third reason we are going to start from today. So there are three verses, 36, 37 and 38. These three verses will read the reason. The third reason is committing sinful, fear of committing sinful acts. So that means, so Arjuna is very afraid that especially by killing his own kinsmen, his family members. As you know, Arjuna ordered Krishna, he rather requested Krishna that kindly keep the chariot between the two armies so that I can see who all have come to fight with me. So then he could see on the opposite party, so his grandfather, his his sons, and his fatherly age people, and his grandsons, all these relatives basically, they are called sva-janaṁ. See that word sva-janaṁ is three times. The third time you can see in this sloka is for the third time Arjuna is using this sva-janaṁ word. So let us come to the sloka. So this is basically to the devotees. Actually they never retaliate. The nature of the devotee, they are very compassionate. They never retaliate to any harm done to them. So we'll see in this sloka, Arjuna, in this entire chapter, if you see, particularly in this verse, you can see Arjuna has many devotee or saintly characters. We'll discuss later on, one by one. So first let us come to the sloka where it is said, pāpam evāśrayed. So you can see, pāpam eva. Pāpam means sin, eva means, all kinds of eva also. Āśrayed, this is important word is āśrayed. Āśrayed, normally what we understand is shelter, right? Shelter means to take the refuge, to depend on somebody. Like we read, we have taken the shelter of the spiritual master, and in Vrindavan especially Srimati Radharani. So all these, gopis and all these exalted Vaishnavas. So whereas they actually in this verse particularly, the āśrayed doesn't mean it is the true shelter. It has a different meaning. So you see the starting is pāpam eva āśrayed. So that means that sin is going to come upon us. It is going to attack us, or it is going to be a burden. So all this, by killing all these my family members, so what will happen? So I will commit sins and it will be a burden upon us. No, it is not actually in that sense the Arjuna is meaning in these words. So it is actually meaning it is a burden on the Arjuna. Ātatāyinaḥ. Ātatāyinaḥ means āta means a person with a stressed, and ayina means bow. If you see, like you have seen the picture of Lord Ramchandra, he's pulling the thread, and ready to shoot the arrow. So that is the meaning of ātatāyinaḥ. There are 6 kinds of aggressors which I have enumerated. We'll enlighten a little bit on that also. So here we see, so as a stressed bowman attacks. So when we see some hunter going in the forest and he's going to kill somebody, isn't it? So it is always a fearful situation. So these aggressors, they are like the stressed bowman who is going to attack Arjuna. So he is very perplexed, Arjuna. Actually this entire sloka, there is just a duality situation. So like there is, Arjuna is thinking what to do. Should I kill or not kill? So why? Because he is a devotee, he is of saintly character. So devotee always considers what is good, what is bad. In 16th chapter, Krishna says in this sloka, prabhuticha nibruticha na cha na vidur asura janaha. So asura jana means those who are demons. They never consider what is good, what is bad. So Arjuna, being a saintly person, is a devotee. So he is considering all the pros and cons, isn't it? So he is thinking, he is applying his logic, and he is quoting from different shastras like Yajnavalkya. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur very nicely describes. So how Arjuna quotes from the Yajnavalkya's the Kula Dharma and Kshatriya Dharma. Basically there are 2 aspects. Here Krishna is inducing Arjuna, you fight because you are a Kshatriya. You are, if you don't fight, and 2nd chapter Krishna is going to tell in the 33rd verse, Krishna is telling, if you don't fight, you are going to commit sin. Because you are avoiding your Kshatriya Dharma, you are not following Varnashram Dharma. So that is actually sin. And Krishna is going to clarify further in the 38th verse of 2nd chapter that what is, how to avoid this situation. So it is just a mentality. Committing sin means it's a mentality. So what you have to do is, you don't be attached to the duality situation, which Arjuna is facing in this verse we can see. So he is unable to decide, Arjuna. So like that, then tasmāt. Tasmān means therefore, let us not kill them. Why? Because by killing them we will commit sin. That's why let us not kill them. And then next is nārhā. Nārhā means, na means not, and ha means appropriate. It's inappropriate to kill our own members to whom we are so affectionate. They have helped us, they have raised us, like particularly Bhismadev, and their teacher is standing, Guru is standing, Krishna. Arjuna is going to attack Krishna also in few verses. You will see Arjuna is telling Krishna, will you attack your own spiritual master Sandipani Muni? Why you are inducing me to kill my own spiritual master or my own teacher? So like that, Arjuna is putting very strong argument. If you see, being a devotee, he knows all the shastras and he is very, compassionate also. He has many characters, like he is free from envy. Though that is depicted by Arjun. So he is anusuyate. Anusuyate, he is not envious. Or that other characters he has, he is he's not independent. He is consulting Krishna. So that is a character of a devotee, and he doesn't want to be violent. So amanityam adambhittam, that is the 13th chapter. If you see those 18 characters were a devotee, you can see that ahimsa is one of the character, of a devotee. So Arjuna is having all these characters. So being a devotee, so he is refusing that these are the reasons. And then sva-janaṁ. Sva-janaṁ, he is, as I said, 3 times he has used till now. Sva-janaṁ, this is the problem. This is the problem of Arjuna. He is using the 2 words are there. Sva-bāndhavān. Sva-bāndhavān, dhārtarāṣṭrān, sva-bāndhavān. So Bandhava means their relatives and friends. Sva-janam means they are still more stronger. That means nija-jana. Those are very intimately attached to all family members. That's what he meant to say. So these are the 2 strong words you can find in these words. So then the other important word is ātatāyinaḥ. Anyway, we are going to discuss. Then sva-janaṁ, he katham hatvā. If we kill them, what will gain? Na sukhinaḥ syāma mādhava. What kind of happiness we are going to derive? Oh Mādhava. Mādhava word is very important because Mādhava means the husband of goddess of fortune. So as we know, wherever the goddess of fortune is there is happiness. So Arjuna is accusing Krishna, yeah, you are Mādhava, you are supposed to, bestow good fortune to all the people, because Mame Vansa Jibaluka Jiva Huta Sanatana. Actually Krishna is the best well-wisher, but Arjuna is accusing because he has a misconception. What is that misconception? That is a bodily concept. He is thinking in bodily terms. So that is like a surgeon. What he does is with a knife, he cuts the body. It's very painful. We being medical field, I have a lot of experience. When we cut the body, even if we give anesthesia, patient sometimes screams, oh, this is, and after surgery also many. So like that, but what is the purpose? Patient will get cured. So similarly, whatever action done by Krishna, it is all for the betterment, it's benevolent for the devotees. Especially Arjuna, he is accusing Krishna, if you are Mādhava, how can you induce me to indulge me in these sinful acts, and which is going to bring misfortune in my future? So that is why this particular word Mādhava is used by Arjuna. So as we discussed, Arjuna doesn't have any asuric yes. So he is thinking about he's very pious and he's a devotee. So all these things. So he has many deva gunas. If you see the 16th chapter, first 3 verses, so all the 26 qualities of the devata, then Arjuna had many of them. So, and also being a Vaishnava, being a devotee, what he is doing? He is consulting Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So any perplexity condition in our life, what we should do? We should approach a spiritual master. Okay, and we should, then many times it happens, we are staying in ashram or we are practicing our devotional life, even there is conflicts between devotees, there may be some misunderstanding. So in that situation, we should not take independent decision, we should consult the authority, or the best thing is, when mind will not work, and go to the spiritual master. He is immediately available, or consult the Shastra and the other senior Vaishnavas. So that is what Arjuna is doing here. That is why he is very saintly. And then, see, if you, then coming to the 6 aggressors, ātatāyinaḥ. The sloka which is quoted here, it is from Vasishtha Smriti. Vasishtha, I will read the sloka, please hear. It is said that Agnido garadascha eva Sastra panir dhanapahar Ketra dara apaharicha Sad ete hya ātatāyinaḥ. So that sloka, from this sloka says, Agnido. Agnido means those who set fire. Okay. Garada means poison, who administers poison. to a person. Cha eva, and also. And then Shastra Panir, in hand, if somebody attacks with a deadly weapon, it is called Shastra Panir. And then Khetra. Khetra means land, who plunders somebody's land. Nowadays we see the most important cases, most of the cases in the court, it is either based on the land, and the next one is Dhara Apahari. These are the two aspects in Kali Yuga especially. Dhara means other's wife, they kidnap. Cha also, it is called sa-bāndhavān. These 6 things are called ātatāyinaḥ. So we call it the aggressors. So these 6 kinds of aggressor. The first thing is poison. Who gives poison? If you see, then Mahabharata, the Duryodhan, he was a great example of an aggressor. So he wanted to give poison to Bhim. Ultimately, Bhim was saved because he was bitten by the snakes. He gave some poisonous laddu to Bhim. And also, the second kind of aggressor is, it is called setting fire. Setting fire means, the Pandavas were attacked, they were kept in Lakshagraha, which is made of some paraffin. They have been solidified. And then when there is set fire, then they escape through a tunnel. Because Vidura already informed them, they are going, this house is made up of like this. So all these things I'm just repeating it. So all these things had already happened with Arjuna and all the Pandavas. Still Arjuna is so compassionate. So this is the perplexity, So then, attacking with deadly weapon. If you remember Mahabharata, it's like Duryodhan, once the Pandavas were in exile, they were in Ajnatavas. So, before Ajnatavas, in fact, So, then Duryodhan had his full army from Hastinapur, he attacked the Pandavas and he wanted to kill them. When he was about to start fighting with the Pandavas, so immediately what happened? Vyasdev came. By Lord's arrangement, Vyasdev is Krishna himself. He is the knowledge incarnation. So he said, if you attack, then you will be destroyed. Immediately by my power, I will come to vanquish all of you. So then they became afraid and they fled away. So like that, if you see, also many other times like Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu was also illegally attacked. And they broke all the rules regularly, because those days the war was very strictly following all the Kshatriyas, following the rules. But one person cannot be attacked by many, one-to-one fighting. There are so many rules, especially depending on what kind of weapon he has. So, but then we see how mercilessly he was killed. So from there, Krishna also took that principle. Okay, if they have broken the principle, hence we will also break all the principles. Like that, Krishna induced Arjuna. So it was like a retaliation. Because Krishna never promoted violence, right? So like that, if you see also this Aswathama, twice he, first thing is he cut the 5 sons of Draupadi, Pratibindya and Shrutakirti, Shrutasena and Sutapaya. Like that, there are 5 sons, they were sleeping in the tent in the night. So Duryodhan was already injured and he was about to give up his life, and then he asked to Aswathama just to please Duryodhan. Aswathama, it was all darkness. The sword, he beheaded them, and the heads he presented to Duryodhan. Then when he crushed it, so it was breakable. So he said, no, it cannot be Pandava's heads. Bhim's head is so strong, I know. So like that. So then he was very unhappy also. But anyway, that's another story. So but then again, Aswathama, what he did is, he tried to kill Parikshit Maharaj also. He was the only last child who was left. He applied the Brahmastra. And then Krishna also told Arjuna to retaliate with another Brahmastra. Then Vyasdev has to come there and he has to settle the issue. The point is like, this is called also ātatāyinaḥ. This is a deadly weapon. Many times the Pandavas were attacked. But even if you see, even in this condition, if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, Draupadi, she's so, this is another saintly character of devotee. Krishna is telling, kill this Aswathama. Even though he is a Brahmana, you should immediately kill him, because he had committed a murder of your sons. So what you are feeling? Then Draupadi is telling, no. If you remember now, Dronacharya has left his body, he is dead. So in retaliation to Dronacharya's death, Aswathama wanted to kill all those, Pandavas. left out. He wanted to wipe out the entire Pandavas. That Brahmastra was directed to vanquish all the Pandavas, and that also failed by Vasudev. So final this thing he applied to the Parikshit Maharaj, and finally Krishna himself has to enter inside with his Gada, that means club, and Sudarshan Chakra. He nullified the Brahmastra. So you know all these stories. So point is, like, here we have to see how compassionate was Draupadi. She had that feeling, motherly feeling. In my son's absence, after their death, I am feeling so much, pain in my heart. So similarly, Aswatthamā's mother is still alive, and he is the only shelter for her mother. If you kill him, then that will be the what will happen to Aswatthamā. So like that, if you see, the devotees are always, they think about the betterment of others. So then the plunder of wealth, that in the gambling match, actually that is called betting match. It's a chess match going on. So Kshatriya cannot refuse, right? But if you see attentively, who was playing? That is Sakuni was playing. But the betting was done by the Pandavas. So the rule is, whoever will bet, he will stuck his wealth or any material, he will play the game. But it was just opposite. So that is how they won all this. So everywhere they were cheated, Pandavas. And also, the last is land. So land also, in the gambling match also they illegally took away their land. Even they refused to give 5 villages, and Duryodhana promised even not even drop the pin hole, the tip of the needle I will give you. So like that, so everywhere they were harassed, all these Pandavas. That is the ātatāyinaḥ. And the last is the kidnapping the wife. There are 4 occasions, as we know, Draupadi was tried to disrobe. All these, because she was also put in betting match, and then they lost her also. Okay, and then that all of you know. So Dusasana tried, but Krishna saved by giving unlimited cloth. And then the second is, because those days for a female to become naked in front of the assembly, it is like more than death, So like that. So then when Karna, this is the second part of it. When Karna, he actually wanted to marry, he went to the Swayamvara of Draupadi. He was refused by Draupadi because Draupadi wanted to marry Arjun. So what Draupadi told, you are a carpenter's son. So you are not qualified, you are not a Kshatriya. So Karna was been insulted. For a Kshatriya, insult means it's more than death. So when that opportunity came, in front of the assembly, Draupadi was lost. So then Karna said, okay, now she is our property, whatever we want, we can do with her. So strip her naked, So that was her, that was the state by Karna. And the third thing is by Duryodhana. He was practically showing his thighs. He was, showing, let her sit on my thigh. So like that, so many ways. And the last, you remember in Kamyavan, there is a very beautiful kunda. It's called Vimal Kunda. So there a pastime also happened. Well, the Pandavas are staying in Kamyavan, So every day Draupadi used to come to take bath with her, assistants, Sakhis. So, but then one time Jayadratha, he was a Atirathi. He could fight with 60,000 soldiers at a time. So he attacked. He tried to kidnap, Draupadi. So then Bhim and Arjun, they came to know and they rescued. They drove away Jayadratha. So all these stories are there. So like that, so many times the Pandavas were attacked. So here, if you see Krishna's view and Arjuna's view, there is a difference. What Krishna is telling, Arjuna, you are not following the Kshatriya dharma. If you don't do this, what will happen if you leave these aggressors alive, even though they are your relatives? I agree, I understand. But the principle of Arthashastra is higher according to Krishna. Actually, Arthashastra is not higher. The Dharma Shastra is higher, which Arjuna is going to quote later on. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also quotes both these slokas. Let me read these slokas for you, so that this first sloka is from Manu Samriti. Manu Smriti, it says, ātatāyinaḥ āyantam hanyad eva vicārayan nātātāyi badhe dosa hantur bhavati kaścana. So here, this is called Arthashastra. That means politics, society, sociology. So based on this, any aggressor should be killed. But this particular condition where Arjuna is facing, they are not ordinary ātatāyis. They are a special, their own relatives. It's very easy to kill another person. But if our own relative has to be killed, then it's very difficult. Very difficult. We have to recon. Like the example is giving, like a judge in the court. Okay, his own son, if he commits a crime, judge's son, and the judge, he has to give a decision, okay, to give a capital sentence or he has to rescue the son. What the judge will do? He will try to rescue the son, isn't it? Because the bondage is there, the affection is there, isn't it? So like that, so this is the problem Arjuna had. He has this bodily concept because he is so affectionate, he is thinking, this is higher. They are my own son, because he has to do two duties. He has to protect the society and also, that is Kshatriya Dharma. If we leave those aggressors, like we see many terrorists here. So they are all the Muslims, Islams and all. We see they are killing like anything. So like that, Narendra Modi especially is taking so many actions. So all these aggressors, if we leave aside, so they will create havoc in the society. So to protect the social law and order, he has to kill them. At the same time, if those aggressors are his own relatives, then this Kula Dharma. Kula Dharma means their own family members. How can he... you understand? It's very difficult. So he is in a duality, perplexed situation. So what to do? So if you see, we have many duties to do. We have our career duty, we have a family responsibility, we have a social responsibility. So these are different pieces in our life, you know. So then, if you see, the last piece, we call it as so piece. We keep Krishna at the last. Right? So this is where the problem lies. That's why we are perplexed. We cannot keep everything in order. Then the acharyas, they say, what is the solution for this? Just elevate, change the position. Keep the Krishna the priority. Then all other pieces will be arranged. So Krishna will give the intelligence by which we will be able to arrange the pieces in such a way so that our all the desires will be fulfilled. Okay, that's what the acharyas, they give this example, this analogy. So like that, Krishna's opinion. Another thing Krishna is telling: if you leave them aside, first of all, not only they will be, they have to get karmic reaction and they will get another birth. Okay, and they will suffer. That is there. In addition, you will also suffer because you are avoiding your Kshatriya Dharma. You are getting my point? So then both of you will get the punishment. So that's why he is telling it's better to kill them. Better to kill them, and you don't get attached to the results. Okay, I am there, I am the final. So like that, all these things he is going to describe in the second chapter. But then see Arjuna's argument. Arjuna has also different views. As I said, he was in it's like a head-on collision. You know, two vehicles, they are colliding. Brahmahatya, Gohatya. There is a saying, if you do this, then that is called Brahmahatya. If you do that, that is Gohatya. So both are equally sinful. So what to do? So in that situation, you have to go to approach the spiritual master. That's what Arjuna did. Then Bhagavad Gita starts. All the knowledge came from here. So Arjuna is of course put in this condition, considering our own situation, all the conditioned soul. So this is the scenario where the duty for the society and that is versus the duty for the own kinsmen. That is what Arjuna is arguing. But then Krishna is giving one example, like Lord Ramchandra. Prabhupada writes in purport, Lord Ramchandra, he is God himself. He is setting the example. Like Ravana, of course, he was not his sva-janaṁ. It was easy for Lord Ram to kill Ravana because he also kidnapped. He was one of the great example of aggressors. So like that, so when Lord Rama, he taught a lesson in such a way, he finished off Ravana. He killed Ravana. Not that he will leave him aside. So like that, Krishna has his own opinion and Arjuna had his own opinion. So there was a crash. And then, so all these, so nicely, one example is, so all these two words, ātatāyinaḥ and sva-janam. So this is the problem. Aggressor versus sva-janam. So which is greater? So this is the perplexity for us. So wrongdoers need to be punished. So that is what Smriti Shastra says. But Yajnavalkya says, no. This Shastra, what is Artha Shastra is not important. As per scriptures, Artha Shastra is inferior. But Krishna is promoting Artha Shastra. That's what Arjuna is strongly arguing. I don't want to fight. So this is the solution. So this thing happens in our life also. So these are the practical applications. So, I think I have covered, the time is getting over, another 3-4 minutes. So and also various scriptures, if we see, Srimad Bhagavatam. So, one sloka is there, one devotee, he doesn't want to kill. That sloka is, Sarver gunesh tatra samasate suraha. Harabha bhaktas kuto mahadguna. So that means if somebody is a devotee, he will consider all these factors. So that is what lesson we have to consider while we are staying in our temple, while we are dealing with devotees. So this thing is going to help us. Many times we have this kind of misunderstanding. So this lesson we are learning from here. Many times devotees become aggressors also. I have seen all these, they do purposefully many things because in an immature stage. So we have to be very careful, especially we are committing Vaishnava aparadh. The 6 kinds of Vaishnava aparadh, these are aggressors, right, Prabhuji? Sahanti, na abhinandanti, nindanti. So these are some subtle element, there is some gross element, like becoming angry, trying to kill a Vaishnava. So part of it is also Vaishnava aparadh. That's why our bhajan will get affected. I have seen devotees in even temple, especially brahmacharis, and they literally fight. One devotee, they cut his hand. He was saying, he was my roommate. He's no more here. So we have to be so aggressors are very dangerous. So there is heavy punishment because devotees, they consider each and every single point, especially the penny versus the principles, right? So like Arjuna is, because he knows the reaction is there. Jamaraj is waiting for whether you are a devotee or not devotee. Yudhishthira Maharaj also, he refused to go to tell a lie, and his chariot was in air, So then once he refused, immediately the chariot came down. Immediately. And for that reason, he had to visit for some few moment the hellish Jamaraj. He didn't get any punishment. Ultimately, he went back to Godhead. The point is like, the rules are even for the higher, what are we? So you have to be very careful in dealings with devotees, especially staying together. We face very much challenges, especially in ashrams. Of course, grahastha have their own problem. And for brahmachari, mind is the problem. Grahastha, so many things they have to deal with, isn't it? So that's why we should consider all this point. And the main point where we learn here is Krishna is cutting the family attachment, family affection. That is a very important thing. And in subsequent verses, the next 2 verses also, the Arjuna is going to tell, even they are illiterate, they are adharmis, they are sinful people. They are doing this mistake. Why you are inducing me? Very strong argument. Arjuna is like, very difficult to this is what happens sometimes. The devotees, they read so much Shastra, they put forth so many, to say arguments, difficult for the spiritual master. So finally, spiritual master, whatever I say, that is the final thing. No argument. You can't argue with spiritual master. Prabhuji knows very well. So all these things, thank you very much for tolerating these are some of the, yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Any correction you can do, because I have not qualified. Hare Krishna. Yes. Yes, Mataji.
My question to you is, not that I want to kill, but this is Sri Krishna saying, right, to Arjuna, that if you kill 6 kinds of aggressors, you do not incur sins.
Yes.
Right? So, not just generally if somebody reads this and they go and kill somebody for being in one of the 6 categories, so the government will hold them, right?
Yes.
For murder.
Yeah. No. See, this particular case, obviously, if Krishna was, while he was personally present, he says, I will excuse you from all the sinful reaction, the last 18th verse 66. So whatever Krishna orders, there is no problem. For example, like Prabhupada...
Not for all of us.
No. For example, Prabhupada gives the same example in the introduction, many places. Like a soldier, he fights for the country at the order of the government. He is not punishable. But if we do at a personal level, break the law of the government, then we are punishable, very simple. So, but this particular sloka, it says the difficulty is if your own child commits a crime, then what to do? That is the difficulty Arjuna is facing. See, killing an aggressor is not an issue, because you are wiping out his karma. You are saving him from taking another birth and in this life only everything is squared up. So it is justifiable as per Shastra. But the problem comes if he is your own relative, own very kinsman, like Guru, like a spiritual master. Very practical. If anybody says just our own son or own family member, what we'll do? We'll try to negotiate something. The example is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Buddhimanta Khan, he was about to be killed. Like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rescued him. Many examples in scriptures. So because they are devotees. So Krishna and Guru has to intervene. Many times devotees do commit blunders. I need not mention the names. We come across with various, even devotees, they fight, husband, wife quarreling. So all these things are happening. So then it is a very big problem for the spiritual master. He has to negotiate both this thing, isn't it? So this is what, because spiritual master, the disciple relation is even stronger than the family, because it is based on bodily platform. It is a temporary relation, but this is eternal relation. So somehow Krishna will adjust the situation in such a way that he will find out some ways and means to get out of these. But again, that's why all the scriptures, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, we have to repeatedly consult. And many, as I said, if we don't do also, like we in the temple management, especially in my department, I know many people, they don't come to work. They are getting salary. I am doing suppose free seva. Suppose, an example. But if they are getting salary, they are taking salary, but they are not working. What to do? If I scold them, then they will be against me. They will not cooperate. They will tell negative things against me. But if you getting my point? So this is where we have to be. We have to be strict. At the same time, we have to be also give our love and affection. That needs finer training, finer intelligence. So that's where we have to consult. Especially in my case, I always ask my Guru Maharaj, this is the perplexity, what to do. Like in my case, like one example I remember, I was chanting my rounds, many times some emergency happens. Some devotee becomes sick or he becomes unconscious. So I asked my Guru Maharaj, he was giving a kathaṁ Bharat Maharaj. So there it came, that topic. So then I asked, if this is the case, then what to do? Gurudev said, don't give up your chanting. Then I asked, if he is a sannyasi or if he is a senior brahmachari whom I am staying in the temple, then you know what he said? Come to me or call me, I will tell. So there are certain higher principles. So it's like, but if he is a mature devotee, he knows, he will adjust things. Obviously he knows what is the priority and all. His Holiness Bhakti Gaurav Narayan Swami Maharaj. So this is the exact, because we face practically all this duality of situation, perplexity, isn't it? So many things to learn from it, but ultimately the solution will be brought by the spiritual master, because he takes the karma, he takes the reaction, if at all we are doing any mistake, isn't it? So spiritual master is at least we can see him practically. Of course we can go and pray in front of the Lord, we can have various scriptural that is there, but the final thing, the thing we have to do is by the spiritual master. So that way we are safe. We are safe. Hare Krishna. Not very expert. Thank you very much for tolerating so much. So Hare Krishna. Dhṛtarāṣṭrā Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.